Welcome to Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mountain. Today, we're going to talk about classic consoles again. We're going to talk about mini consoles. I mean, when Nintendo put out the Nintendo NES Classic, everyone's like, wait a second, what? And it was amazing. Then they put out the Super Nintendo Classic, and it was amazing. And then I think Sony put out, well, the PlayStation Classic. It was quite a bit less amazing, but whatever. I digress. And there's also Neo Geo 1, which I'm like, it doesn't really look like a home Neo Geo thing. It's trying to be like a weird, I'm probably going to end up with one because of that Nakaruru version of it. And I'm like, oh, I like that. That looks really good. And then recently at E3, there was a TurboGrafx 16 announced, and I'm like, oh, I just need to know a little bit more of the games, but right now I'm good. I mean, if it's got Magical Chase on it, and it's got Ys 1 and 2, and maybe there's a couple more things it needs, and then boom, it's perfect. But we'll see how that turns out. I don't know, Konami, I don't know. But we're not here to talk about any of those systems or anything like that. What we're here to talk about is something that's I have a bit of a confession to growing up. Well, I didn't have an NES. Other people at church had the NES, and I'd go to their house and I'd play the NES, and that was cool, you know. Or they'd let you borrow the NES. That was the thing people did. They're like, hey, you want to borrow the NES for a little bit? Cool. Borrow it for a week, return it that Sunday, that type of thing. So I didn't own an NES. In fact, my family, we had an Apple IIe. Yeah, an Apple II is okay. I mean, it's just not the best for like games or for doing stuff. I mean, you have what was it like? At the time, I think it was like Print Shop or something like that. Print Studio, one of those. You could print out banners, and it was kind of cool. But then there was stuff like Mixed Up Mother Goose. I had a copy of Karateka that was pretty awesome. I could play through stuff like weird cracked things like Sticky Bear Bop. And then also things like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail. It was kind of cool. That was the Apple II. But one of my relatives was all like, I just bought a Commodore 128. You want my Commodore 64? Yes. Yes. It's not like you're saying, here, have a Tandy. And somebody hands you a Tandy. That's where you knock the Tandy out of their hand and say, no. No to Tandy. No. That's like someone saying, hey there. You know the Apple Lisas? No. But yeah, the Commodore 64 was kind of my first big one there. You know, it's like, you go in there, you go load, comma, 8, comma 1, that type of stuff. You know, actually it's load, then little quotation marks, then a star, then the other quotation mark, then comma 8, comma 1, and you could bring up, I had so many different games for it that were like cracked. I mean, it had Montezuma's Revenge, BC's Quest for Tires, Boulder Dash. I spent so many hours in Boulder Dash. I had a copy of Mario Brothers on there that was okay. A copy of Donkey Kong that was better than the NES one. Yeah. SimCity. SimCity didn't even have building graphics. They were little blocks with a little thing like R for a residential zone, I for an industrial zone. But why am I talking about that? I'm talking about that because of this. I always check on bargains and stuff happening at GameStop, and then this was like, oh, this is on sale. Oh, that seems interesting. I mean, 64 games. That sounds kind of cool. I still have my old basic things for that, right? Yeah. And then I did a little bit more research about it. It's the C64 Mini is a remake, essentially, of the Commodore 64. It's tiny sized. They do have a full-size one with a working keyboard coming out at some point, but I don't really care about that. I like the little mini consoles. Comes with a joystick that looks less bad than the joystick I used to use for all these. That had a stick and one button. Yeah. Then I did some more research on this. Turns out there's upgradable firmware. You can add games to it legally because a bunch of them are public domain now, and there's homebrew stuff for it, and it's really easy to do. I'm like, huh, okay, oh, I'll take a look at this. I mean, it's from some company I've never heard of, Cloanto, I don't know. It's got an HDMI thing. Here's the side of it. Let's bring that back a bit so you can bring it into focus. You're gonna have to tilt your head to the side, I guess, to read it. But it comes with, it doesn't come with a, weirdly enough, it doesn't come with a AC adapter. But this is the same kind of AC adapter that you can use on the NES Classic, SNES Classic, etc. It comes with 64 retro games. Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash. Oh yeah, California Games, Impossible Mission 2, Jumpman, Impossible Mission 1, Jumpman 2, Paradroid, Pit Stop 2, Speedball 2, Street Sports Baseball, Summer Games 2, Temple of Asphai, Apshai Trilogy, Winter Games, Iridium, a version of BASIC, because I still have books on programming in BASIC, so I can make and produce my own little text adventure games. But there's a lot of stuff for this that's literally, you can just add to it. It's got 64 games. I'm going to read through the full list. Let me know if you've heard of any of these. I have. I mean, I liked certain stuff like Laserine and stuff, which isn't on this, but is sitting on a zip drive right now because as soon as I take this out, I'm going to test it out and then I'm going to upgrade the firmware on it because the company that made it was like, here's a firmware upgrade, and we're like, nice. I'm just like, thank you very much. Anywho, let me go through these. Full list. Alley Cat, Anarchy, Avenger, Battle Valley, Boulder Dash, Breakdance, California Games, Chips Challenge, Coil Cop, Confusion, Cosmic Causeway, Trailblazer 2, Cyberdyne Warrior, Cybernoid the Fighting Machine, Cybernoid 2 The Revenge, Deflector, Destroyer, Everyone's a Wally, Firelord, Ozai, Gateway to Apshaw, I've never played it. Apshay, I don't know. I've never played that one, but it should be interesting. Gribley's Day Out, Heartland, Herobotics, Highway Encounter, Hunter's Moon, Hysteria, Impossible Mission 2, IO, Jumpman, Jumpman 2, Mega Apocalypse. Cool. Mission AD, Monty on the Run, Netherworld, Nobby the Aardvark, Nodes a Yesod, Paradroid, Pit Stop 2, Ranarama, Robin of the Woods, Silicon Warrior, Skate Crazy, School Days, Snare, Speedball 2, Brutal Deluxe, Spin Dizzy, Street Sports Baseball, Street Sports Basketball, Street Sports Soccer, Summer Games 2 with Summer Games 1, Super Cycle, Sword of Fargol, Temple of Afshai Trilogy, The Arca Yasad, Thing on a Spring, Tower Toppler, Trailblazer, Iridium, West Bank, Who Dares Wins 2, Winter Games, World Games, Zynaps, and then countless others because you can add other C64 games to this, including a lot of homebrew. Heck of a lot of homebrew. I know. People are like, couldn't you do the same thing if you go out and buy all the parts for a Raspberry Pi, then put it together, and then put it in a special case, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, I paid less than $30 for this. It's chock full of nostalgia. I'm going to put Montezuma's Revenge and BC's Quest for Tires and Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers on this. There's Bubble Bobble for this, and then there's all sorts of there's a wonderful community for it out there, which is dedicated to getting this thing to do all sorts of cool things. You can connect a keyboard to it. It's cool. I don't care about what you can do with a retro Pi. It's kind of like when people are like, I built my computer from scratch. And you're like, cool, I bought this computer for less than what you did to build a computer, and then I can put parts in it because it's got all these extra parts. I didn't have to pay for Windows or crack or steal Windows because it came with it. I'm good. But you don't have it. No, I can just upgrade stuff if I want to. It's cool. You don't have to waste your time with all that stuff. You know? That's more of a pain than it is to just go out there, plunk down a minuscule amount of money to get something designed specifically for collectors like me. So, let's open this puppy up. It's got a thing. We're going to cut that real quick. I think that's the one I'm cutting. Yeah, that seems good. That's cut. Okay then. Now I just want that out. There we go. We're being very delicate with this when we don't really need to be. But, you know, whatever. Okay. Ooh, let's see what's in this. Big blue box. See this right here? This is retro pride. When people are like, why do you have a rainbow on your shirt? I'm like, it's because I believe in the C64, Commodore, or Apple. Either of those are fine. Yay! Now let's go ahead and open this up. Oh. Okay. I kind of dig this packaging. Let's oh. It's so huge. What's funny is it is actually really tiny compared to the original device that this is a wonderful classic version of. Let's go ahead and open these up here. Alright, so we got this is your cable for hooking it up to your other stuff. Here's an HDMI cable because everything comes with that. Here is a sweet quick guide. Here's a thing about Atari. Retro Reboard, Antstream. Use promo code 64 Mini when you sign up. Okay, cool. Seems to me. Officially licensed game. Exclusive challenges. Official leaderboards. I really don't care about whatever the heck that is. Meh. I do care about this packaging though. I'm gonna free this from here. This is the joystick, and let's kind of put that joystick to the side over here. We're just gonna throw these things back in the box for the time being. I mean, it's interesting the way that packaging looks. It's nice, but let's just move that out of the way. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Oh yeah, HDMI cable. Got so many of those. Hey, it's a USB 2.0 thing. Cool, I got a bunch of those too. And they all of these have the same type of thing. You look at the side, it's HDMI and then the power in. On this side, we have USB and then a power button right here. I hope that this light looks like it turns on. I'll find out. A little keyboard that doesn't work. That'd be neat if it did, but I understand that it doesn't. It's too bad to just have the C64 logo. The back of this looks pretty good. It says the C64 Mini. Doot 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 doot. That's that. Here's the C64 quick guide. A couple things about it. It's in different languages. That's kind of cool. I still have my old book on programming and basics, so that is a thing that's going to happen with this device. I can use it to program and play around in BASIC. Yeah, I'm going to peel these stickers back over here. Now, I remember playing through like Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers and all that stuff and being pretty good with them, even though I had kind of a terrible joystick. Extra buttons. All these extra buttons do stuff in the game. Well, do stuff now. Most of it with the but oh my gosh, yeah. God, that controller. God, I didn't like the controller I had on my 664. I just had to fight it every step of the way. And this feels like I gotta fight it every step of the way. Now, the thing I did like about the C64 is the original Commodore 64 had the same type of controller ports as the Sega Genesis. So you could technically, on some games, use a Sega Genesis pad. Considering that this seems to take USB inputs, we'll see what else works with it. There's all sorts of changes to firmware. People have kind of, as soon as this came out in the United States, they're like, hey, firmware's updated, it's so much better now, let's see what we can do for it. And there's a good community for it. So I'm like, ooh, what am I missing from my childhood? Like some kind of Game Boy Micro or Mini type thing? Now that'd be funny if they put that out there. They're like, this is the Game Boy Micro. And you're like, you guys already have one of those. But no, what I really would like is some type of N64 classic or some type of Dreamcast classic. I know we're getting the TurboGrafx 16, which I'm like, I didn't own one of those, but I remember Keith Courage and Alpha Zone very fondly because I knew people who owned it. And you're like, wow, that's cool. This is a cool system. How much is this system? Oh my gosh, it's too expensive. But that would be, you know, the TurboGrafx 16, which we're not talking about right here. We're talking about the Commodore 64 Mini, which, I kind of dig it. I dig this thing a lot. It's cool. Now, let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Did you ever play with this growing up? Are you a C64 person, or were you one of those people who lived in the Apple II ghetto? So, let me know. Hit that comments, hit that share button, that subscribe button, that like button. Ring that little bell so you're notified whenever we have a brand new video here on Area DMG. And until the next video comes out, you are now caught up. Morning, Maya.